All right, point two, day one, biotechnology. What'd I do? Oh, the picture must be a hyperlink. All right, two questions. First question is, what is a clone?
Multiple versions. A clone.
All right, so in multiple versions, duplicating, replicating thingy, an exact copy of something. All right, cool. All those are great. What is a hybrid? A cross between two different things. Somebody says a mutation. All right, cool. Well, let's figure out what those things are as we go through today's lesson. So, objective / agenda. Students be able to describe three types of biotechnology. So, our agenda is what is biotechnology, why biotechnology, selective breeding, cloning, genetic engineering. There's a classification activity, a wrap up, and extension. So, hopefully, your computers start working soon. If not, that's okay. Anyway, what is biotechnology? So, how can organisms be produced with desired traits? Unless you are an identical twin, your DNA is different from everyone else's. Because of the advances in genetics, DNA evidence can show many things, such as family relationships or the ability to produce organisms with desirable traits. Selective breeding, cloning, and genetic engineering are three different methods for developing organisms' desired traits. And so, if your computers are working, you'd be taking notes. Three types of biotechnology are selective breeding, cloning, and genetic engineering. All right, so biotechnology, here's like a definition from the dictionary. An area of biology in which people use organisms, living things, to develop new products. Bio means life, so breaking this word apart. Technology is the collection of techniques, skills, methods, and processes used in the production of goods or services or in the accomplishment of objectives or the application of scientific knowledge to the practical aims of human life. So that's a really complicated word for technology, but pretty much biotechnology, collection of techniques, skills, or methods. Yeah. So some people could say that like scissors are technology because it's a tool that somebody created to make life and work easier, to help you accomplish an objective. All right. Maybe. Maybe not like a rock on the ground or a tree. Oh, I don't know.
Like every time people would ask me how to talk, I just like thought of like I don't when you're mom. Yeah.
Oh yeah, electricity is technology, sure. Can't use the toilet.
My family took my
Oh,
my room away. They took out my mattress and everything. I don't have a door.
whoa. Dang.
My mom.
That's sad.
She took my whole bed off.
Wow. All right, let's move on. Why study biotechnology? All right, how do you think biotechnology impacts our world? Look at some of these things. Debate ensues over more a move to adopt GMOs, understanding GMOs, genetic engineering, and the future of coffee. GMOs can help world hunger. Interesting. Top 10 genetically modified foods: corn, soy, cotton, papaya, rice, peas, dairy products, tomatoes, potatoes, and rapeseed or canola oil. What would be like what? I don't know. There's corn originally was like wheat almost. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the white, like the white. I don't know the two-headed turtle. Yeah, the two-headed turtles or the two-headed cats.
The albino things. Yeah.
I want my son to be born with two-headed.
First monkey. Yeah. First monkey clones created in Chinese lab. Look at that. Biotechnology, cloning.
I love monkeys. Okay, well, you guys heard about that chimpanzee that ripped off someone's face off?
All right. Anywho, so the first type of biotechnology we're going to talk about is selective breeding. And this is extremely common and has been used for a long time. So selective breeding is the process of selecting an organism with desired traits to be parents of the next generation. It's called selective breeding. So even simple things, like obviously dogs, you know, all dogs started as wolves. And then you take the litter of wolves and the smallest wolf from one family, you would mate it with the smallest wolf from another family. And then they would have a bunch of babies. And then you take the two smallest wolves. No, it'd be automatic for you. You take the two smallest wolves from those, and you know keep on doing that over and over and over for years and years and years, and eventually you get a smaller dog. You know, sometimes you have a genetic mutation, and the fur color might be different. And so you would take, you know, brown fur from, you know, one wolf baby and brown fur from a different wolf family, and mate those. You're gonna have more brown furred babies. Yeah, but they've been what they call domesticated over hundreds of years, maybe more. Same thing can be done with plants as well. And so let's say you have an apple tree and you grow a bunch of apples, and there's one apple that's a little bigger. So you take the seeds from those apples and you plant a bunch of trees with those seeds, and then you let those grow, and then you look for the biggest apples from that tree, and then you plant those seeds. You know, eventually it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, so here's some notes if your computer was working. Um, Selective breeding or artificial selection. Remember we talked about natural selection a while back? Oh yeah, see, perfect. I love this example. So choosing and breeding organisms that have certain desired traits. Yeah, so in the 50s, 70s, and 2000s, who knows how big they are now? So you would take and you look, this chicken, well, you would mate it with another chicken, and it would hatch their eggs. Whatever one was the biggest, that's the one you would have be the male. And the biggest female you'd breed those two together. And eventually, you know, after 30 some years, was it 21 years, you get a bigger chicken. And you keep on just mating the biggest two chickens together. And eventually, you know, you get a big mama.
16 years later, how big are the chickens?
Well, right now, I don't know, probably twice the size, huh? So from here to here, they probably weren't doing much like hormone therapy or anything. I don't know. But from here to here, they probably started doing more hormones and stuff, pumping them up. Yeah. Oh yeah. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order? Oh wow. You've been living in a cave. Keenan and Kel? No, that can't be right. All right.
I like the.
It's been a while since I saw it. So look at this. A Jonathan plus a golden delicious. You get a Jonna Gold. See how it's mixing? Cool, huh? What type of, remember we talked about the different types of crossbreeding and stuff with pea plants? There was complete, incomplete, and co-dominance. You guys remember which one this would be? Yeah, exactly. I think co-dominance from both show up. Yeah. All right. Another thing, inbreeding. The technique of inbreeding involves crossing two individuals that have similar desirable characteristics. Let me read about inbreeding. Suppose a male and a female golden retriever are both friendly and have the same coloring. Their offspring will probably also have those qualities. Inbreeding produces organisms that are genetically very similar. When inbred organisms are mated, the chance of their offspring inheriting the two recessive allele increases. This can lead to genetic disorders. For example, inherited hip problems are common in golden retrievers and other types of inbred dogs. So inbreeding has a lot of negative connotations for sure. Hybridization. In hybridization, breeders cross two genetically different individuals. That would be like the John Gold. All right, so inbreeding is crossing two organisms that have similar desirable traits. Hybridization, crossing two genetically different organisms. Computers still aren't working? Well, that probably won't work. Well, I'll give you guys. You want to sit in a different seat? Go ahead. So as long as you're paying attention and stuff, it'll be fine. All right. All right. As long as you're paying attention, everything will be okay. Cloning. We talked about this at the beginning. So cloning for some organisms, such as the dog shown in Figure 1. I'm not sure I see Figure 1 anywhere. You don't have one? You can borrow mine. It's been a long morning. I can understand. No. Mr. Ashcraft put everything back on the humans. Yeah, he said 15 to 30. Anyway, a clone is an organism that has exactly the same genes as the organism from which it was produced. It is not hard to clone some kinds of plants, such as African violets. Just cut a stem from one plant and put the stem in soil. Water it, and soon you'll have a whole new plant. That's cool. The new plant is genetically identical to the plant from which the stem was cut. So cloning is making an organism, cell, or piece of genetic material that has genetically identical to the one from which it was derived. Apparently, they like to clone sheep. There's a really famous sheep that was cloned, like Dolly, I think his name was. So that's cool. All right, what else? Genetic engineering. Geneticists have developed another powerful technique for producing organisms with desired traits. In this process, called genetic engineering, genes from one organism are transferred into the DNA from another organism. Genetic engineering can produce medicines and improve food crops. So that sounds like a really crazy type of technology. On Thursday this week, whenever we remove some of the DNA from the strawberry, I don't know. We'll see how complicated the process is. They say that some human DNA strands are like 6 feet long, but they're bundled up. Yeah, exactly. They're bundled up. Yeah, they're folded and wrapped around a whole bunch of times, and they're really, really, really thin, much thinner than a hair. Yeah. All right, genetic engineering, the process in which a piece of DNA is modified for use in research, medicine, agriculture, or industry. Or scientists can take a piece of DNA from one organism and can transfer it to the DNA of another organism. I don't know about that. Given that tomato was shot, maybe they're inserting into DNA. That'd be sweet. Good apple. Ooh, yeah. That'd be fun. All right, next thing we do is a classification activity. I don't think so, but the organisms in there, if they're living organisms, which they usually are, they have DNA. The water is not alive. Classification partner activity. With your partner, arrange the statements into logical categories. Hint, there may be more than one correct way. Oh, hint, one of them does not belong. Read them carefully. Then you'll answer the questions. So if our internet comes back on soon, let me just finish this video here. Wrap up. List one of the ways to describe each of the types of biotechnology. So how to describe selective breeding, how would you describe cloning, and how would you describe genetic engineering. There's an extension activity. It should be fun. All right. So I'm going to stop this recording, and then we can get on. Hopefully our internet works soon.